Oh, my headphones.
If you could look on your phone just to confirm that we are in fact live, and just for a moment kick up the volume once you see us.
It says waiting for.
Just to make sure. That's what it always does. It's going to be like a minute.
You want the volume on?
We just need to hear me say some kind of words, and then we can cut the volume down, and we know everything is going well. All right, so I'm just going to assume that it's working because this is StreamYard, and StreamYard works a pretty good amount of the time. So I'm going to start saying hi to people. What's going on? Amy, who else
Hi,
do we
guys.
have in here? Horror fan. I just got the message from YouTube. There we go. Do you hear us?
Yep.
Perfect. All right.
Turn it off so there's no echo.
And we have
hi,
Papa
guys.
Joey and James Looks Twice. Awesome. All right, so you can see us. Not dead. That's right. Still alive. Happy 2024, everybody.
Yeah.
This show is it's going to be a call-in show. That's the idea. But these things can be difficult to get started, get the ball rolling on. It's not a problem. We have our own stories that we're going to be sharing with you guys, so that's a plus. But I did want to bring up the last thing that we recorded at Concrete City.
Concrete City.
You guys do not want to miss this when it comes out. We brought over. You want to tell them? We brought a bunch of stuff. We brought all of our toys.
The K2 meter. What's your?
I have the thermal camera. And
the thermal camera's on the phone.
The infrared.
And then the infrared.
The infrared thermometer.
Yep. And crazy stuff happened.
So
you're gonna want to see it. It's crazy.
It was so bizarre. It's a lot of video, so it's being edited down.
I'm working on it now. It's taking a while because there was so much stuff.
I'm gonna full screen this so I can see us a little better.
Maybe tomorrow or the next day.
Yeah.
It'll be out.
I am going to go and put out a video on how to build a Faraday cage, because after everything happened, it was, well, what could have been going on? Do you have the K2 meter with us right now? We started like speculating, could the K2 meter have been going off due to like the infrared thermometer? So
the amount it was going
there we go.
off.
So they can actually see that it's on right now.
Yeah.
So if we go and we put these things like 3 points at there, nothing's happening to the K2 meter. Right?
It blinked once, but it will do that around electronics. So we have to get pretty close. It's not doing anything right now. Normally it doesn't.
It was reacting so much that we're gonna make a Faraday cage, like a smaller one I can keep in my bag, and that way when it starts going wild, we can start putting away some of the electronics. Maybe I'll step out like further away and use the zoom function on a camera, so that way we know that it's not an electronic device attached to one of us. I also have, I guess it would be like a Faraday hat. They sell Faraday cloths on Amazon. You can buy like, so that way for like 5G and whatnot, if you're sensitive to that sort of thing. These things are not difficult to construct. They are not very comfortable, and they're kind of noisy when you're making them yourself, but it only costs a couple dollars, so that's a plus. That video, the video of us going to Concrete City will come out first, and then within a couple days after, I'll be showing how to make a Faraday cage container, and I'll play test it in front of you guys so you guys can see that, okay, yeah, the cell phone has 0 bars now and all that. But that's something that's really exciting.
Yeah, it's cool.
That's over the next couple of days, and tomorrow I will be on Bald and Bonkers. I asked, what are we talking about? And I was told anything paranormal. Man, did he leave that door wide open. So I don't know what I'm going to say, but he pretty much said I can say anything I want to say, which might be great for him or terrible, but I'm going to have a really good time. Look at them. They're doing karate back there.
You guys are on YouTube right now.
Yeah, you guys are famous. There we go. Now they're going to behave. Oh, yeah. This is I'm a pirate today. So just for today. But we did want to come on camera. We're actually going to go and cut to actually I can probably just hit that button now.
Your beautiful painting. My
beautiful painting.
Pretty good.
All right. So this is not any kind of this is nothing special. This is pretty much evidence that if you give somebody like a paintbrush or whatever, you can keep a fool busy for hours. All right, like this is not something I'm particularly skilled at. And the nice thing about this is that it gives us some ambience. So you can't see me here. This is a virtual reality experience, but I'm the one controlling that magic flying brush. So there we go. Yeah, Go Squad Scotland. We're going on Bold and Bonkers tomorrow. It's going to be very cool. So to start things off, the thumbnail for this video, that was a requested... Oh, actually, let me go and put the number up. I'm just going to put this in the chat every now and then. I need to do like Papa Joey and have it really nice where it like rotates, right? That'd be cool. And it could just be on the screen or whatever. But feel free to interrupt my speaking. Don't wait for me to stop because it'll never, ever happen. I will talk forever. All right. So, they're doing karate again. They're being crazy. It's okay, though. They're just babies. So, one thing that kept getting, I guess it was requested, right? Request was the legend of the Pig Man of Vermont. And I love all urban legends, and Pigman, well, there's a couple of jokes involving Pigman. Obviously not the urban legend, but if anyone is familiar with Tommy Wiseau, he did this thing, I am Pigman. It was really goofy. And so when I heard, the Pigman of Vermont, I definitely want to go and check this out. So I have the account here, and the growling noises in the background are being provided by the pups.
You can pretend that's Pigman.
Yeah, you can pretend that's Pigman, even though Pigman
might sound a little like Pigman.
Pigman is said to have a terrifying, it's making the world's worst sound. So, let's go and is what I wrote about this legend. And this is me painting the Pigman from the thumbnail. But remember, man, I'm really bad at this. You can tell right there.
That's just that's your
look at
your layout.
I'm a great artist. I can't. Oh man. Okay. The legend of the Pigman of Vermont centers around the mysterious and unsettling story of Sam Harris, which is a really cool name. A young man from Northfield, Vermont, who vanished in 1951 at the age of 17. Sam's disappearance occurred on October 30th, 1951, the night before Halloween, known locally as Picket Night. This is actually another thing. So around here, some people say that October 30th is Mischief Night, and if you look it up online, that's what they say, but I always thought Mischief Night was like the Saturday before Halloween or something.
Yeah, I never heard that.
Along those lines. If you guys have heard about that, it's either the Friday or Saturday before Halloween, not just the day before, because I've never heard of Mischief Night falling on like a Wednesday or a Tuesday. It's always been a day when people weren't going to school the next day. I don't remember if it was Friday or Saturday, but I could be mixing up Mischief Night with something else. If you guys have heard about that, definitely let me know in the chat, please. But in Northfield, Vermont, they called it in 1951, it was called Picket Night, a time traditionally associated with mischief. Setting out with eggs in hand, Sam never returned, leading to a massive weeks-long search involving hundreds of locals across an extensive area. Despite these efforts, he was never found. Okay. The Pigman, as the legend goes, is a bizarre, terrifying figure, often described as being covered in white hair and wearing a hollowed-out pig's head as a grotesque mask. Now, I've heard two versions of this where it's more of a chimera, like a hybrid of sorts, but I don't have that data, but there is, we'll say, other legends involving Pigman. Oh, also, this is being done at double speed. This took me forever and ever and ever. Don't think that this...
How many hours did it take?
There's some stuff edited out about 4 hours, with the edits 3 hours, and then that went double time. Some of it was spent with me trying to figure out how to adjust the camera on this thing. So that was not one of you guys calling me, and it should have been. Why aren't you guys calling me on the phone?
Did you put the number up?
I did. Put the number up.
Yeah, you guys should call.
There we go. Oh man. Hang on, that's what we can do.
Call with your scary stories.
Hey, type in "call with your scary stories" and put that number there, and then I'll show it right there, and that'll be the poor man's way of doing. Oh yeah, there you go. That'll work. You see my little pig man over there? Stick figure pig man. Okay. Anyway, so he is covered in white fur and wearing a grotesque hollowed out pig's head. Okay. The true identity of Pigman is shrouded in mystery. Some believe that the Pigman is Sam Harris himself, transformed by some unknown force or event, possibly even by a deal with the devil on that fateful night. Now, about that, there's an area right around there, and it's called the Devil's Basin. I tried to look up why it would be called that, right? Because we have Devil's Hole, and
It usually means something bad has happened.
Yeah, you gave you put out that video where you spoke about the lake and everything,
yep.
How people would
Bottomless lake.
Yeah. So I tried to find that information, and I'm not as good as you are. It's just the way it is. They're saying that it might have been named the Devil's Basin because, first off, it's in kind of a bowl. There's a very large depression that exists there, and that makes the terrain difficult to navigate. So, okay, I mean, we actually have. I've lived in a bowl just up the road years ago, so bowls are difficult to navigate. When it would snow or ice, you weren't going anywhere. There was no way you were getting up that hill. You were like, well, I'm staying home tonight, and that was that. But that's not the Devil's Bowl. You know, it's just kind of strange to me. So maybe there needs to be more. Maybe I need to look up more about the Devil's Basin. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure there's a reason for it to be called that. It's usually native.
I looked up 2 or 3 articles, and that came up. And one of the people there was a historian, and they're the ones that said, "Oh, well, normally we name things like that when the terrain is difficult to navigate."
I can look it up right now.
Go for it. Yeah, the Devil's Basin. In Vermont, because there's probably multiple Devil's Basins. You guys know how it is. Papa Joey, we're going to be in the single digits here in North Texas for the next few days. Wow. It's actually a little warmer here, I think, than usual. For us.
In a couple of days, it's going to drop to 11 degrees.
It is. But I've got that firewood ready. Cutting that firewood. Isn't looking at this much better than looking at my ugly mug? This is way better. Much more entertaining.
I wonder why it shows pixels instead of the picture.
I think I found out why. There's a thing that hides that section. So that thing over there that looks all pixely and horrible, I am so sorry. That's my reference image. And in the next video that I do, I think it can be seen. There's a thing where you can hide the UI. But boy, does that look dumb. They should have just made it invisible.
You can put it in the what's it called? The browser. Control C. And then you bring it into the browser.
That's what it is.
That's that?
Yeah, that's what that is. That's what I'm looking at. That's why I keep looking at that weird cubey thing.
When I do it, you can see it.
No, I can see it too, but...
No, I mean when I record it, you can see it.
Do you use spectator cam?
Yeah.
Well...
Maybe it's because you're using a different...
Well, no, it actually said on it, hide the UI, and...
Oh, it's also called the Devil's Wash Bowl.
Yeah, I unhid the UI. That's where the devil does his laundry. All right, back to this. We don't need to do this technical talk about it. This is bad content. James Looks Twice says, check out The Legend of Werewolf Springs in Burns, Tennessee. There are stories about it on YouTube. It's a great story. That sounds awesome. I will definitely do that. All right. Amanda, put the number up.
I did.
I don't see it here. You maybe got bumped to another planet? Just do it using this. Just post it on this right here, and then we'll share it from right here.
See, look.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So some people are saying that there was a, I don't want to say a showdown, but the devil and Sam Harris like confronted each other. Okay, very cool. And somehow from that interaction, Sam Harris becomes the Pigman of Vermont, right? But others speculate that the Pigman might be a beast that devoured Sam and then took on his identity in a ghastly way. Now, that sounds like a very weird thing, and I'm not reading from an article right now. This is like a summation. Some people suggest like somehow the act of this monster eating Sam Harris somehow made it into like a human type hybrid. So that was interesting. In the wake of Sam's disappearance, there have been numerous sightings and tales of the Pigman in the area surrounding the Devil's Wash Bowl in Northfield. Okay, so in my summary, I wrote wash bowl instead of basin, but it's the same thing, and you'd already brought it up. There are two that are very popular. Here we go. Feel free to interrupt me. Call me with your scary stories. I was going to go and make a really bad joke. Either go with Miss Cleo or the other ones that used to go on late at night. Call me now. Let me tell you something. She must have made money because they kept playing those commercials.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure people did.
Psychic Friends Hotline Magic. Okay. So the first story that I have, both of these accounts allegedly happened very close to each other. Okay. This one is known as the high school kids encounter, or that's what I wrote there. That sounds like I use the word encounter a lot for experience. This sighting dates back to the early 1970s, so we'll say roughly 20 years after Sam Harris goes out and never comes back. And I'm not saying this is the first sighting. This is a very popular sighting. This is one that, when you look up the Pigman of Vermont, these two sightings come up very often. I looked up several articles. I did find some other sightings, but they're so short. You know, it's like someone's walking somewhere and sees something, or and then they hear the horrible sound. You know, where
it's not enough for a whole.
Yeah, these are a little better. Okay, so and the very cool thing is, one of the articles that I found, the person giving the account, it's allegedly secondhand. Like, he knew the person or the people that were there. So that's very cool. I always like that. This account involves a group of Northfield high school students. One of these people is Jeff Hatch. According to Jeff, so Jeff, this is a secondhand account. Mm-hmm. Jeff is not saying that he saw this. He's saying he saw the people that saw this. That he knew them, probably went to school with them. Yeah. According to Jeff, a group of 17 to 18-year-old boys were attending a dance at their high school. During the event, some of them went to a nearby sandpit to secretly consume daddy sodas. Don't want to get in trouble on YouTube. This was normal and their usual spot for these activities. This is actually relevant to me because it'd be one thing if they went to some new place. Let's say they went to some abandoned asylum and scared themselves. But this is where they used to do these things. So there was none of that added, like, oh, so spooky. They were just going out there with their daddy sodas and doing what they always do. But something happened. It doesn't always happen, right? However, this night turned out to be different. Upon reaching the sandpit, the boys encountered a horrifying creature, which they later described as being the size of a person, covered in white hair, and running on 2 feet. Its most distinctive feature was its face, which resembled that of a pig. The boys were so terrified by this encounter that one of them returned in tears, visibly shaken. This incident sparked a manhunt in the area as the creature, named the Pigman, became the subject of local fear and curiosity. There were other things that were written there that I didn't directly put in, but I think I can say nude on YouTube. That shouldn't be a problem. If we get cut off for me saying nude, so sorry, right? Hey, James, it was so cool of you to join.
Bye, James.
We'll see you, bud.
Papa Joey. Watch those. Bye, Papa Joey.
Oh, man, Papa Joey got summoned.
Got summoned.
Like you can summon Pigman. Actually, I don't know if you can summon Pigman.
Maybe.
Maybe you can. Maybe that's what happened. Maybe Papa Joey turns to Pigman. So he's like, oh no. They say Pigman 3 times in a row. Turns to Pigman right now. Oh no. Anyway, so the second encounter. This took place on a farm on the other side of town, and as I understand it from what I've read, it looks like these happened near each other, like in terms of time. So other side of town, but maybe that day, or it looked like it was close to them. This individual heard noises in their trash cans one night and decided to investigate. Upon turning on the light, they saw a figure at the end of their driveway. The figure, covered in white hair, was rummaging through the trash. When the resident yelled at it, the creature turned and revealed its face, which was described as pig-like, complete with claws. It then emitted a horrendous noise and ran off. To summon Papa Joey, do we say his name 3 times or 5? Let's find out right now. Papa Joey, Papa Joey, Papa Joey. Papa Joey, Papa Joey. Do like Ernie and Bert from That's When She Here, Fishy, Fishy, Fishy. Jump into the boat. That's how it works. While the Pigman of Vermont is often considered to be just a Halloween story or folklore, some speculate that it could be a woodwose or Bigfoot-type creature. There's also comparisons to the Pigman of Cannock Chase, suggesting a possible link between these two mysterious entities. Now, of course, you guys know that I looked up the Pigman of Cannock Chase. Like, that happened immediately. Cannock Chase happens to be in England. So I was like, we're going to save that one for another day, because I do want to, I'm not big on hard limits, but it's like, the U.S. has 50 states. We have so many urban legends here.
So many.
I don't know. It seems like good form to me to separate the U.S. from everybody else in the world. So one day we will go into Cannock Chase and the Pigman in England, and there's in India they have so many absolutely amazing, incredible urban legends, and I mean they're just everywhere. So we will be doing those, but it will be another day. Okay, checking the phones. I need to have a sound effect for that. I'm gonna invent one right now. Oh, still no calls. I'm not popular. It's okay. It's okay. So, to get the ball kind of rolling, let's talk about some paranormal experiences that we've had. Not as a couple. I mean, we do have. It's crazy that we have that video of Concrete City that will be going up. Awesome. But some of my stories have actually appeared in our animated.
Oh yeah. And mine too.
And I did not put down that they were mine because I didn't want to become the focus of that video. It wasn't about, oh yeah, this is something that I'm familiar with or something like that. It was I wanted the spotlight to be squarely on what happened versus who it happened to, right? So if you would like, do you want to go and share? Do you want me to go first?
You can go first.
Okay, I'm going to take a sip of this. Okay. So, I personally do not like Ouija boards. I've been told ever since I was a small child to just stay away from them in as much as I could. Just have nothing to do with them. No good can come from a Ouija board, that sort of thing. When I got a little older, I asked my mom why. And I'm not saying that Ouija board is no one should ever touch a Ouija. I'm not about telling other people what to do at all. 0%. I'm just giving the reasons that I was given and sharing that account with you guys. I'm sure there are plenty of people that have used Ouija boards time and time again and did not experience anything that would be bizarre or actually we'll call this dangerous.
I've used them a bunch of times.
Yeah, nothing dangerous happened. But yeah. So anyway, my mother tells me that when she was a teenager, one day in her parents' house, they hear my uncle screaming like a maniac from his bedroom, and everybody rushes in. And when they all get there, he's insisting there's a snake under his bed in his room. Nobody can see the snake. Okay, he was a little younger. He is a little younger than my mom, but he's old enough to not imagine snakes. And he's not a tiny child. I think at that point he's probably 13. That would make some sense. That sounds about right. So there he is, terrified of this snake, and he wants someone to help because he sees the snake. No one can see the snake. Come to find out, he borrowed a Ouija board from somebody at school and was messing around with it. And the snake, my family believes the snake was the direct result of him messing around with this Ouija board. You know what I mean? And so I was always told, don't mess with this because your uncle did it once, and this is what happened. Only he could see the snake, and I mean there was no social media back then. He didn't run around and tell everybody. This all happened inside of the. So it was him and my aunt and like my grandparents. There was no like cloud or anything involved. He was terrified, didn't want to go to his room for the rest of the night, and that was that. So, and that's, like I said, that's actually animated, and I think the video actually has the word Ouija in the title. So if you are interested in seeing that animated, we actually have a video with some true Ouija stories, and that would be one of them.
Yeah, that...
Do you want to...
I'm trying to think of one that's...
I went way back to before I was born. I was like, we're going to do this chronologically.
Yeah, that's a secondhand story. I could tell a secondhand cryptid story.
Your grandfather's one?
Yeah.
Go for it.
Well, it was my grandfather, and then my mom and uncle may have seen, may have been Bigfoot. So my grandparents lived in Pennsylvania. Well, actually, it was my great-grandparents. My mom's grandparents. So my great-grandparents lived in Pennsylvania. I don't know where. I think it was more central PA. And in a very rural area. And my great-grandfather told my mom and my uncle that he would sometimes, he'd be outside and he'd hear like trees shaking, and sometimes rocks would be thrown, and he would smell this horrible smell that a lot of people talk about when there's a Bigfoot nearby, like the skunky body odor sort of smell. And my mom said one time when they were visiting, her and my uncle were out, and they experienced the rocks being thrown and something grunting and shaking trees, and they got scared and they ran inside. Possibly Bigfoot. Nobody saw anything, but everything that they described sounded very Bigfoot.
Yeah, the telltale signs.
Yeah, from other people's accounts. It sounded like it was trying to get rid of them. The tree shaking and the rock throwing.
Yeah, and that kind of goes to what like Mike the Naked Bigfoot says about them, like they understand boundaries.
Yeah.
Where was this when they had the vineyard? Was this by the vineyard? Or,
no, this was not this was my great-grandparents.
Oh.
And they were in more central Pennsylvania. And back then it was very, very, like everywhere was pretty rural.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's a lot less people around, and it might have been Bigfoot.
That's pretty wild.
So that's, yeah.
The musk smell, according to Jimmy the Lumberjack says, the musk smell must be overpowering as the hair does not get shampoo and VO5 hot treatment. That's right.
Yep. I imagine they would smell really bad.
Yeah. Though, I'm going to be honest, like, we've had bear, like, on our street before. They didn't, I don't remember smelling, like, fox really smell.
Fox smell, yeah.
Fox smell really bad, but,
yeah,
but bear, for being so big.
Yeah, I've never smelled, when I've seen them around, anything bad from bears.
Yeah. Which actually also kind of lends itself to the experience, because if bears don't give off a very powerful odor, the odds of it being a bear now are
And
smaller.
the Bigfoot is more human-like. He'll have more humanish body odor, maybe.
Maybe what if it was a bear with like an infection? Ew.
Then it's happening a lot because a lot of people will report that.
That's
a lot of infected bears.
That is true. That is true.
Could be a different animal that smells really bad. Maybe it was a fox. I don't know.
Yeah.
But the body odor smell, that's the part that...
Yeah.
That makes it.
I read this absolutely insane Bigfoot Sasquatch story. I'm not going to say the book, but according to the book, it's true. I'm not going to say the book because I don't want the author to be like, oh, now because you told this story, no one's ever going to buy this book, which I think is silly. I mean, at minimum, it might actually increase sales, but I read a lot. And this one true story, it was I think it's called a blended family, when like kind of like the Brady Bunch, but not like 100 kids. There were 2 kids, and I don't know if the person giving the account was male or female, but they were a teenager, and they went with this their mom's boyfriend, but I guess they were pretty close, and his younger than them son, and they go camping in the woods out west, and there were parts of the park that they were explicitly told like not to set up camp, like it was like, oh, we're camping here, and they kind of like hand you a map and say, all right, well, you can like here and here, but you're not allowed to here and here. And so I guess they got this idea to go to a spot that was not on the okay list because it was very pretty, but so far out of the way that they figured nobody would confront them about what they'd done, like they wouldn't be found. And overnight, they start smelling the smells and start hearing these crazy, like not just howls, but like whooping howls.
Oh yeah.
Like rowdy. They're hearing energy getting built up, and according to this book, where the accounts are true, right? According to the author, these are true accounts. They actually experienced a great deal of personal violence that night.
That would be scary.
Yeah, the dad goes out, right? And I think what was written was that he like his arms were ripped off. Yeah.
Ooh, that's real bad.
Yeah, and then so the older child, the one that's I guess like kind of like giving their account, they were like, we have to run to the car. They're like trying to get the younger child, like, you have to run with me to the car so we can, because they're in a tent.
Yeah.
There's no
protection.
Yeah, there's no protection there. Like, come run with me to the car, and the kid wouldn't move.
Oh, no.
The kid was like frozen there, terrified. I can't say that I blame the child.
Yeah, he's in shock.
Yeah. I also don't know if they were aware of the dad losing his appendages at that point. That might have been something that was discovered later on, but at a minimum, I guarantee you that made a horrible sound, and the dad made a terrible sound, which would be enough to paralyze. I want to say that child was maybe 8 years old. I do apologize for the gaps in this story. This was actually read before I got my concussion, so there are a couple of holes in it, but the older child ran and got to safety and stood there until morning. Like, they locked the doors and didn't move, and allegedly, they were surrounded and harassed. Like, the vehicle was actually being shoved around by these huge creatures, these Bigfoot creatures. Fight, flight, freeze, fawn is real. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And yes, this is one of the craziest. If I knew I wouldn't get in trouble, I would 100% plug the book. But there were only a couple of stories in the book to begin with, and that might be, you know what I mean? Like, well, if I only have 5 stories in here and you told one of them, good job, you jerk. So, but there are lots of books out there with just the most chilling accounts. Not all of them violent. The reason why this story was so memorable to me is because you hear a lot about, like, Bigfoot understanding boundaries, being territorial, and you hear plenty about them not really wanting to
They don't really
interfere
bother,
or
yeah.
exactly
They
or
try to scare
harass
you
you.
away, but they don't rip
Uh,
your arms off.
yeah, but what this really looked like was a bunch of like rowdy teenage. It sounded like they had
Oh,
like
like they
a
thought it would
gang,
be, yeah.
like this like.
That could be, because they'd
And
be like
so
people where they're all different, and then the younger ones
exactly.
are gonna go and cause trouble.
And you have to remember too, this is not like a new thing in the animal kingdom. Lions, they'll kick out the males. As when the males get older, the male lions are kicked out of the pride, and they eventually have to form their own pride. But before that happens, it's not unusual for them to become a pack.
Yeah.
So you'll have like 5 or 6 male lions prowling around until they eventually go their own way. And the behavior that I read, that I witnessed via reading, it looked so much like this because the all lion teenage prides, they'll terrorize other lions.
Mhm.
They'll kill other lion cubs and then like play with them. It's weird.
So sad.
It is. It is. It's just the strangest thing. Jimmy the Lumberjack says, "I wonder if you mark your territory with P, would they leave you alone, or will it So that's it right there.
I think if you tried to do it when you were camping, it might.
Well, no. So when we were
I
out
think, like,
at Devil's Hole,
If they were near our house and you did it, it might work.
well, I don't think they'd be around our house because they would recognize the boundaries.
True.
Like I think like they'd be but when we were out in Devil's Hole, if you watch that video, so let's say I don't know the direction we were walking, but let's pretend we were walking to the west. I would turn to the east and urinate in a line blocking the path. So if some larger animal smells the food on us and they follow that path, they will smell my pee, and then they have to think like, do I want whatever it is? Do I want to confront whatever it is made this urine? And it has to like perform
What
its
if
own
they can
cost
tell
benefit
it's
analysis.
human pee? Like, do they smell? It's like, oh, that's human pee over there.
Yeah, Mike the Naked Bigfoot would talk to me about peeing on my lands actually fairly often. It's a conversation that we had maybe 4 or 5 times. That doesn't sound like a lot, but considering the very low number of conversations we had, it's kind of so. It was a reoccurring theme. He said the first morning urine. It's like they'll know this is.
Oh, it smells the.
This is morning.
strongest.
This is morning male pee. Here, do I want to?
Yeah, they could probably tell if it's male.
Yeah, they definitely can.
Does it not work if they're female?
What if they like you? What if the bear was like, I'm gonna get some human woman love?
I doubt that.
Yeah. If I was a bear, I would try to kiss you.
Okay.
I have very good taste, though. That's why it's okay. What's going on?
I would love to see a Bigfoot. I wish that would happen. Not the
these
mean
ones, though.
Not
So-
those ones.
So this
Just
poor,
just the sighting like people have.
this poor person is in the car, terrified, not moving at all, like hiding in the car, kind of now. Like
Yeah.
I guess like putting themselves like in as much as they can behind the seats or whatever, you know, trying to shield themselves from whatever is in the woods, right? And then eventually the park rangers show up the next day, probably because they were expected to check out, and they checked all the sites where they were given the all clear. Didn't
find
see
the
them
guy?
anywhere. They did not find the guy. I don't know that they found the child either. According to the account, the park rangers took the person's statement, right, the teenager's statement, and then they called in a bunch of other ones that all came armed. They went out, there was some sounds and gunshots heard, and then they came back. Like it's a problem that they would deal with from time to time.
Yeah.
Yogi the Kissing Bandit coming to Cinemax after dark. I'm not saying all that, but they do have that rated R Winnie the Pooh movie now, but it's for violence, but maybe for a little bit of love too. I don't know. I mean, it's not the 80s anymore. I don't know if that's considered like classless to do anything like that in movies anymore. It'd be kind of useless, but because everyone has the internet. But I think that might be low class. I don't know. I don't watch a lot of movies, so let me know what you guys think. Also, don't forget we are in fact live. You are watching a live thing. You can call us with your stories. The number is on the screen, or you can just call us to tell us other things. I don't even know. Tell us
It's
about
true.
Bigfoot.
Whatever you want.
Yeah, tell us Happy New Year. Okay. So, uh, there are other animals, aren't there, that once they attack a human, like we go out of our way to make sure that specific one dies. Like if a bear attacked a human and like ate a human,
Yeah, though.
I think we would put it down. Like we can't have a man-eating bear running around.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, how do you even nominate?
Well,
Like,
they won't talk about Bigfoot. They'll just act like.
oh, and that was like they asked the team for their account, and then like that was it. They kind of did a little.
Did they tell them don't tell anyone or anything?
I don't remember. It felt like half mom, half gym teacher. Like half of it was like you're fine, the other half was like I'm so like
Yeah.
this is terrible. Like we need to call somebody to get you. Like so.
I wonder if they'll just label that as like a missing person and not even say anything.
I think they would attribute it to like just some other more acceptable animal, like a cougar or
Like a
something.
bear?
I don't really know that bears don't really bother. Well, actually, this is out.
Where was it at?
It was out in the Northwest. You could be looking at,
If it's a
at
grizzly bear, they-
Kodiak bears.
Oh, yeah,
maybe.
no.
Where Kodiak bears exist, like north, but not like in the U.S., continental U.S.
I think they might.
Could you see a Kodiak bear in Idaho?
I think they might be in Montana,
Washington
Idaho,
State? Okay.
maybe Washington. Maybe I'm not sure.
Those things are monsters.
Oh yeah, they're very mean.
Those
They
things.
will tear you apart.
So I mean,
That's true. They probably would just say it was a bear.
geographically speaking, from where the story took place, I don't remember exactly, but I remember thinking it was out that way.
Grizzly
But-
bears. And,
But
yeah,
for
Kodiaks.
all the sounds that were made, like I've never heard of a bear fighting in packs. You know what I mean? Like there's no.
Also, I don't know of them ripping someone's arms off. They usually bite you and shake you around and not
Yeah,
just pull
ragdoll
your
you.
arms off and leave you there.
Yeah.
That's not.
No, I don't think they
really-
left them there either.
Did it?
Hmm. Sadly, I don't recall. But the next time we do this, I
so
will.
it took the body,
Yeah.
ripped his arms off, and then took them.
Took the body. Like things. I mean, there's potential reasons for ripping the arms off. He could have been struggling.
Stop him from.
Yeah, it could have been for sports, to
Yeah.
ragdoll. Tigers, if they are attacking other tigers, now you have to imagine Bigfoot it stands on 2 feet. It's a human shape. Tigers will, if you put like a dummy tiger in their enclosure, overnight they'll rip the face off. They want it to be unrecognizable as a tiger. So there could be some of that going on. And I know, again, Bigfoot and tigers, cat, and more humanoid, but again, some of these behaviors we do see in lions, in adolescent lions that are too
monkeys
old.
can be pretty mean.
Monkeys are special.
There
That
was
is-
that one woman, her poor face.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was bad. They could be very mean.
Actually, it's very interesting because that also fits in with the tiger in the
It does,
enclosure.
the
So
face thing.
even
Yep.
though, animals are animals, and that doesn't hold true across the board. There are differences and whatnot, but there are patterns, and I think this could be a pattern. Jimmy, I wish you could call in too. Monkeys are crazy. Yeah, he's not.
Yeah, they are
Gosh,
crazy.
they're crazy. Actually, that's a flexing muscle. Monkeys are crazy strong. Yes, they are. They can rip your face off.
Oh yes, they can.
Okay, so.
So imagine Bigfoot, how strong Bigfoot is. Forget it.
Yeah. That's why when people are like, "Oh, I think Bigfoot might be like some kind of government military thing," it's like, do I think that? No, but is it possible? 100%.
I wouldn't-
100% that's possible.
I don't even know anymore.
Well,
if
the
somebody
thing-
said that's what Bigfoot is, I wouldn't be like, oh no way, I don't believe it. But like, I could see that.
You know, my big problem with that is that there were tribes that would do pottery that were the pottery they did was they did real things. So like some tribes would do like fictional gods,
Yeah.
human with an eagle head on it and that sort of thing. But this other tribe, the pottery that they did was very mundane. It was beautiful, and it's like, well, this is like a cat, and this is a human, and this is a monkey, and then there was this other piece that looked like a hybrid between a monkey and a human. It's like, well, what is this thing then?
Hmm.
So I don't think that Bigfoot is like.
There was a guy that I'm trying to remember. There was an experiment done where they did try to make human. I think it was human. Was it ape or
You talking about,
gorillas?
was it Germany? I think.
Was
Is
it
it Germany or
gorillas
Russia? Yeah, they
and
tried
humans,
to
and
they tried to crossbreed them.
Yeah, to make super extremely strong humanoids,
Yep.
but it didn't work.
No,
Or they said it didn't work.
well,
Who
actually,
knows?
there's good reason to believe because I believe they said
But they did try.
that it worked, except the baby would abort at 3 months and,
Yeah.
and just so it would
So
not
it really didn't.
it could not be carried to term, but you could impregnate. And I think that's the same thing that happens
Yeah, but
with.
that was also a long time ago.
I think that's the same thing that happens with like zebras, maybe, and horse. Like if you try to these other similar creatures, not all because like think a horse and a mule is a donkey, and so some of them will work, and it's like dogs, where like a dog
Some of
and a
them
wolf.
just can't. They're sterile.
But
They're born and then they can't.
Yeah, some of them are born sterile,
And some
and
of them
other
don't make
ones
it.
they can't be brought to term. It looks
Yeah.
like it's going to work, and it doesn't. So there is that. But what was I saying? Oh, I forget.
I don't want to forget about the.
Yeah. Oh, so there's a lot of data that tells me that Bigfoot was around before the government. So now, would the government want to harness that power? Yeah, like what's it, Neuralink, right? If Elon Musk gets Neuralink right, I could see them putting Neuralink on apes and having ape soldiers. I don't think this is give me the lumberjack. I don't think the military made the Bigfoots. Nature did. But Boston Dynamics are making these robots and robot dogs. They're crazy strong. Maybe we
I've
set
seen the
them
robot
loose
dogs.
in a Bigfoot area. Ooh.
Wow, that would be.
That would actually the dogs, because it should be able to move very quickly. If you had gyro sensors, like gyroscopes on the paws, it would be very short-footed to get through some really difficult places.
This one guy, he was talking about researchers that go out and try to find Bigfoot, and
Yeah.
he said the reason why no one really gets good footage is because the Bigfoot can sense things that we can't, like pretty much the EMS from all the equipment and the
I believe
what's it
that.
called?
Well,
Is
I
it
had
UV
that
light? No, what light is it that he says that they can see?
infrared, like
Maybe
my
it's-
laser,
maybe it's infrared.
like my laser
Pretty much
thermometer.
they can sense things that we can't. So any equipment, they're not able to get anything because the Bigfoot can see.
There was a video that's
So you'd need to hide that somehow.
that I did on cats being like thermometers for potential glitches in the matrix, right? And in that, I think it was in that video, I talk about heartbeat theory. Actually, it might have been a different video. Maybe that was the one on Nessie. Doesn't matter. One of them. And this is a theory that I've developed where animals, a lot of them have super hearing. Like,
Yeah.
if we had carpet up here and we had all the dogs downstairs, you could drop a potato chip on a carpeted floor and they will hear it fall down.
That's crazy.
And if they could potentially also just start barking up because they want to eat the potato chip that they know is now on the ground. It's like, oh, the food
Yeah.
is on the floor. I might be here and not hear it hit the soft carpet, but they can hear it.
So if they can make some kind of robot or drone that hid most of that, which would be hard because then it wouldn't be able to.
I don't know about
Or-
hiding. I feel like what you would want
That
to
the
do
Bigfoot can't
is
sense it.
well, the big problem I think would be the sound, right? So if it can hear my heartbeat,
Yeah,
right,
it's definitely.
and
gonna
it
do that.
goes off, what you would want to do is mask the sound with another animal sound. You'd want to teach it to move like a squirrel. You know what I'm talking about?
So the Bigfoot just thinks it's
Or a deer or
squirrel.
some other animal. You'd want it to move
Yeah.
similar to the animal, so that way the pattern would be something that's not so off.
Mhm.
And maybe even give it a synthetic heart that it could beat with that sounds like the animal it's attempting to match.
Maybe.
Something like that might.
You still have to cover up the whatever it's emitting, like the electricity that it would be.
You're saying it can possibly pick up electromagnetic fields?
That's what this guy was saying, yeah. And I want to say ultraviolet light. They can see. I forget what his name is, but he was saying that's why when people go out trying to find Bigfoot, they fail because Bigfoot knows you're coming way, way before. And even well, there are the accounts where people see him, but it's hard to get a good picture and get
Well,
them
if you have,
on
if you,
film.
well, the hunters, I mean, especially the older accounts, hunters in the 80s and 90s,
They didn't have any of that stuff.
no, they weren't. They were going out with like duck calls and like haru, haru, and then they'd shoot something. I
So
don't
maybe
know.
they only show up when they know you don't have equipment.
They only show up when you go haru. Well, they, I feel like that there has to be they have to be developing some sort of tolerance now with Starlink and there's
Well,
a lot
eventually
of,
it might not even matter. Yeah, they might.
well,
just
no,
think
because you
it's-
can still like all right, so
They can still hear you coming, but
so
it's gonna be stronger though than just the whatever's around normally.
like when the power goes out, right? It becomes silent for real. You might not even notice it, but you actually like. Well, actually, I shouldn't talk for everybody. I feel better, right? And then when the sound comes back on, for quite some time, I will hear the humming of the fridge, and it'll bother me, right? So you have this noise, and humans have collectively decided that it is an acceptable amount of noise, and for the benefit of refrigerating your food, it's a fair trade-off. It's very little noise but I can hear the noise.
It's a constant hum.
Yeah.
You can tell because yeah, like you said, when it all stops, if the power goes out and you just sit there, you can still hear the humming, and eventually it goes away.
No, for me, I can tell it's gone. Actually, I feel relief.
I'll still hear the echo of it, and then it'll go away.
I think I'm very sensitive to noise because lived in New York City for so long, and it's such a noisy place that now that I'm not there, it's like, no more noise. Everyone shut up. Only I can make noise. That's fair.
Yeah, like if the power went off now, and we sat here quietly, I'd still hear the humming, and then eventually, like after a couple minutes, it'll go away.
I wouldn't hear for a while. It
would stop right away for you.
Yeah,
you don't have that.
My mind would be like, it's time to take a nap. It's time to rest.
It's stuck there for me for some reason, just for a little bit, and then it goes away.
I really should start using earplugs like from time to time, just because.
I use earplugs all the time.
That's a good idea. I'm gonna do that.
It's like when you go camping, you feel so much better.
Yes.
And you're able to go to sleep, and you wake up early without a problem.
Yes.
Which I cannot do.
Yes.
Unless I'm camping.
I actually think that is tied to 5G and.
It's all the electronics.
Yeah, so people, the tinfoil hat wearers, like there's actually the air around you. It looks empty, but it's so clogged full of stuff. And obviously I exist in the same reality as everybody here. Excuse me. Your body is designed to be able to correct certain things, right? We'll call them impurities, right? These are not things. My body did not make these signals. And that's why it's so important for me, for you, for us to go outside and be
away
from these things from time to time. I do feel so much better. There are times where like I start getting these weird headaches, start taking like painkillers. What are you gonna do? And then we'll go out for like a hike the next day, and everything just becomes easier.
I'm way less tired if I go camping or take a nice hike. I feel so much better.
Yeah, Jimmy's saying there's a lot of radio waves near. It's true. The air is absolutely saturated.
It's loaded.
Yeah.
And now they have the cell phone. Yeah, the cell phone.
5G. Yep. And there was a study done by the U.S.
EMS
military
everywhere.
where because the thing is, your brain is both it sends out signal and it receives signal, right? So it's an input and an output device. And they've done experiments. The U.S. You can look this up on Google, not even some weird website. Please look it up on Google, where they use radio towers to try to have a calming effect on people. Yeah, and that's why I have my Faraday hat. It's like the presidents or FBI. No one's allowed to call my head without my permission. I reserve the right.
How would you know when they start doing it?
I wouldn't know, but you know what the thing is, though? There are times where I'm just not feeling... There are times where I feel like I should be outside, but maybe I can't go because it's 7 degrees outside. So if I'm feeling like that kind of pressure, I might put on the Faraday hat and then do a little exercise or something to try to push out, and then also make it a little more difficult, make my mind slightly less accessible to the radio waves.
I didn't know they discontinued 3G.
Wow, I had no idea. I'm gonna look that up though. That's very
People
interesting.
are
Thanks, Jimmy.
some people are freaking out about 5G, saying it's really bad.
Yeah,
Yeah, you haven't heard about?
I have. I've heard a little bit about it.
I don't know if it's true, but yeah, I didn't know they discontinued 3G at all.
You know, smart things about 5G. You can call in now. We need smart
Yeah,
people to call.
people are saying 5G is very, very bad.
Yeah. You know what the thing is though. So like, I'm not saying that 5G is good. I'm not like take your 5G
I'm sure
vitamins
it's not
today.
good. It's not good like all the other
But
things.
is it
Is it
worse than like radio waves or other things? Like, remember when radiation? They
Well,
were
5G
like,
is supposed to be pretty strong. Like it works better, which would make it worse.
make it more. Yeah, okay,
You know, it'd make it
that makes sense.
a little stronger than the others, unless they were able to make it not as like harmful. But
They don't care.
unless
That's
it
not their priority.
just starts killing everybody, they don't care. If it's just hurting you a little bit, they don't care.
Well, I'm gonna be honest too. Like, there's more. We're exposed to more toxins now than at any other point in history, but we also have better access to every kind of remedy, whether it be something pharmaceutical or natural. Like 100 years ago, could I get a pineapple right now or a papaya? No, I
No.
couldn't. But so if I have papaya seeds are an excellent anti-parasite, right? So if I think, oh, okay, I've been exposed to this thing and it's made me susceptible to parasites, I can go out and buy a papaya right now and eat it and eat the seeds, and this will help insulate me. Or a lot of times when you're sick too, the problem is drainage. Your liver is not able to drain out the bad quicker than it's being made, so you get symptoms. You get the runny nose, watery eyes, fever, that sort of thing. Jimmy says T-Mobile gave him a free upgrade from an old phone that his son was using to 5G. And that was last year. Now I really wonder, because I think I didn't help me out here. iPhone 4, wasn't that like a 3G phone? I think I have old iPhone 4s in this house.
Oh yeah, there's old ones, definitely.
I got the
So I guess
crazy,
they won't work anymore.
the crazy evil phone is in my house.
They won't work anymore.
Oh man. Well, he's not had any power in him forever, so I can cut him open and take the evil out of him and then use it. I can make a 3G gun with my laser infrared thermometer and be like 3G.
Why did they shut down the 3G? Because they just want everyone using 5G, or they didn't want too many Gs out there at the same time. It's too many Gs. Just shut the old ones down.
That's it. 4G, okay. 5G,
Okay.
that's
3G?
9G together.
No.
3 more G, that's 12G. We have to keep it under 10, folks.
Too many Gs.
It's not funny though, because there was that same thing with the radiation in the ground. So there is an acceptable amount of radiation allowed in the ground, and this amount is determined by somebody in the government. Some government, authority determines how much radiation you should be allowed to have in the ground. Now the problem with this is that when more radiation appears in the ground, they just up the limit. Okay. And what I'm really warning you guys about, and again this can all be looked up. I understand that it sounds like I'm a crazy person. Please, you can think I'm a crazy person if you want to. It's been suggested many times, but you can look this up. I heard it was needed. They needed to create more space on the radio bandwidth.
Yeah, too many Gs.
Too many G's. You're right. You were absolutely correct. Absolutely correct. Eventually, there'll just be one 9G, and everything will be on it. Yeah, so it'll be the all-powerful G. Because we had 3G and 4G at the same time, that was 7G. Now we have 4G, 5G, 9G. That's the maximum Gs for now. But yeah, there's radiation in the ground from I think it's from like our nuclear testing or whatever. It's in the ground, and the problem is it's in your vegetables. It's literally everywhere. There's a doctor. His name is Dr. Bergman, and he mentions you should take a detox bath. I don't remember if it's once a week or once a month. I'm gonna be honest. I try.
Baking soda?
Yeah. You put baking soda and you just soak in that baking soda. Give it like 10, 15, whatever. You take your shower first or whatever, so you're clean. Then sit in your baking soda water, and then you can shower off again. If you don't shower off again, your hair will get very hard. I'm telling you from experience. Like it gets really weird and and dry. It's not fun. So shower, bath, shower. And interestingly enough, now that was Dr. Bergman. He's on YouTube. He's a great doctor. I trust him very much. But anyway, one way that you can get your vegetables to be pesticide free. There's two methods. The best one is the baking soda.
It's the baking soda. They did a test.
Yep. And the second best was the vinegar. Now I think that these things should be rotated.
That means the baking soda will get rid of the.
Yes, exactly. Now I don't remember why he said the baking soda would somehow counter this, but again,
something about the chemical reaction, it gets rid of the pesticides. I don't know how it gets rid of the radiation.
So yeah, like 200 years ago, the carrots were not radiation carrots. That's fair to say. But if they needed baking soda, I don't even know what they would need to do. They'd probably have to get like ashes probably, get like soda ash or something. I don't know, and combine that with something else to make that happen. So I'm not one for doom and gloom. This is not a everyone become afraid and your food is poisoned. Don't get excited, please.
Well, it's very little radiation.
It is, but if you want less of it, you can detox fast.
Yeah, it might build up a little bit.
And you can soak your produce in some baking soda first.
That's what we always do. We always do the baking soda for 10 minutes, then rinse it off.
Jimmy the lumberjack, free lava bath, vinegar and baking soda. Yeah, if you do it at at the same time.
Oh man.
There was a commercial. Oh, I probably shouldn't say this on YouTube. Oh man.
Oh, because it was on YouTube.
Because it was on YouTube, and if you mock a commercial on YouTube, when you're on YouTube,
they listening to us right now.
I don't know. I've said so many key words.
I'll just do it. Who cares? I doubt they're gonna.
All right, listen. Nobody say Hunter Biden.
You just.
Oh, crap. Guys, no, for real. I was just kidding. I muted the mic. It was so much fun, though. It was a funny joke.
You muted it?
I muted it for half. No. I said what I said.
Oh, well.
I won't say it twice, though.
Well, that's the end of the show, I guess, because they're shutting us down.
That's it. Oh, man. So, yeah.
You say the C word, forget it.
Which one? Oh, man. I want
the virus.
Oh.
Can't say it.
Can't say it.
Don't say it.
How many strikes is that? It's 3 strikes you're out. How many bad things have I said this time?
I don't know.
We're going down. All right. But now I'm so far off topic. I don't even remember what I was thinking at all.
It was the ad.
Oh yeah, there was an ad and it had a freaking AI voice, which I absolutely despise. I hate all those ads. And it was talking about some kind of miracle something. And in it, they took Bragg's apple cider vinegar, which for those in certain communities, it's like this is like the apex of vinegars with the mother. And then they threw baking soda in it. And I was like, this is really messed up because first off, like they like to go when they show things, like if they're doing something holistically, like
they're showing the spoon, mixing it up, and they pour it in.
Yeah, but if you click that link, I promise you they're gonna try to sell you some kind of weird pill that one of them. No, it's not the same ad, but one of these pills, you can just eat eggs. It's the same thing. I'm being serious. I'm not gonna say the name.
I need a lot of eggs, but yes.
No.
No, you don't.
No.
Because usually those pills they're things you could get from food, but it's like super concentrated.
The one thing that the pill gave you.
You need to eat like 50 eggs to get.
It was a complete amino acid. Allegedly, the uptake was like 99%. This is ridiculously hard to find in food. The most bioavailable protein is actually breast milk. Now we got cut off. Is breast milk. If you're fresh out of breast milk, like where do you find breast milk on a Tuesday? Eggs are actually the second best and super available, and sometimes they cost more than gold, but most of the time they're moderately priced. So yeah, these pills also suggested that you take the pills and not eat any meat, just eat like salad. And I was like, so you take this 100% uptick, like almost 100% like protein, where it's super bioavailable allegedly, and then you eat almost no other food because there's so few calories in salad.
Yeah.
Like you can eat like 100 salad and it's like 42.5 calories. It's like
Yeah, salad is
it's like you're gonna
not
tell
a lot.
people to starve? This is craziness. So
Unless it's a Caesar salad with eggs and ham and bacon in it.
you can have Caesar salad with eggs in it?
Of course.
I've only had them with
Or not
chicken.
Caesar salad, I'm sorry.
Oh, a chef
Chef salad, yeah. Caesar salad is the one with the
chicken and the anchovies.
the cheese and the avocado, or the anchovies, yeah, and the avocado. Avocados and
Hey Jimmy,
the other
it was cool for you to come and hang around. Have a good one.
Bye, Jimmy. Yeah, Caesar salad is the cheese, the Parmesan cheese, right?
Yes.
And the anchovy paste.
You
And
can
the
put
chicken.
as much cheese as you want in any
Chef
salad.
salad is the one that has the meat in it. That's what I meant.
and-
Ham and eggs and avocados and stuff like that. That one might fill you up.
I'll get filled up off Caesar salad. The chicken Caesar
Because there's
salad.
chicken in it, yeah.
Oh yeah, you have to say chicken. Like, it's true. I
You
just
can put meat
automatically
in other
assume-
salads too. There's one you can get with shrimp in it.
That's
Pretty
true.
good.
Subways will turn any sandwich into a salad. It's not a very good salad, but oh man, are they a sponsor? Not anymore.
No, they're not. We don't have those.
No, we don't. We need to find a sponsor so that way I can say all the mean things
No
I want
one's
to
gonna
say about
sponsor.
everybody. People will sponsor us. Like Chiquita, the banana making people. I love bananas.
They should because we have so many bananas.
That's
It's
true.
ridiculous.
Listen, just give us free bananas. You guys don't even know.
We'll just videotape ourselves. Look, this is how many bananas we get every week. You should just sponsor us.
Yeah.
Look at all these. We love bananas.
Bananas are 58 cents a pound. That's a freaking steal. That's a discount.
Wait, what are these with them?
Yeah, you can make fake ice cream with them. So good.
Oh, it's so good. You put the chocolate powder in
So
there,
good.
and it's sweet without adding sugar to it.
Well, because it has sugar in
So
it.
good. Well, bananas are very sweet,
Yeah.
especially if you get them really ripe and you freeze them.
That's right. And they have
It's like
the
candy.
and what's it called? When you use them, when you utilize them as a sweetener, you don't remove any of the fibers, so that's a plus. Oh, quick shout out to our friends at Coffee Table Chronicles. They did an episode on processed foods.
They did. That was a good episode.
It was a very good episode. I enjoyed that a lot. So it's cool. There's a lot of people right now, kind of maybe people that at one point, I'm not even talking about them specifically. I think it's actually happening on a much larger scale. I think people that maybe were not too big on the idea of trying new things, right? Like new foods. Maybe they're a little more keen on the idea now. You know what I mean? Like maybe they're a little happier to do it. So personally, I recommend the difference between the two cooking times. They did a fully processed meal, like where everything was like microwaved and bagged, and one where they had to like trim a little fat off the meat and slice things up a little bit. The cooking time difference was 10 minutes.
Yeah, I thought it would be a lot.
Yeah, and
Different.
the processed food was 60 cents more, but they had way more food from the unprocessed.
Mm-hmm.
Like they had enough potatoes
They
for
had a
days.
whole bag still
and-
practically potatoes.
Yeah, and like they had that. They had to buy a block of cheese. I guess they didn't have cheese in the house, but they were making it was broccoli with like cheddar cheese sauce on it. So they had to buy a little bit of cheese, and it's like we used almost nothing. It's like, well, now you can put that cheese and potatoes together, and that's a meal right there. But if you want to, you can add bacon to it, because you can just add bacon to anything you want. Bacon is awesome. Man, did we?
Oh, is it over?
No, it's not over. It's not. This
It's
is.
very still.
It is very still. You know what happened was I had trouble. There we go. He's back. He's
It's
alive.
so weird how to fix the way.
What do you mean? Oh yeah,
The
yeah.
reference.
I'm hoping that never happens again. I really am. There was a thing and it
why I
said
didn't
hide
use
UI, and I was like, oh okay, I will unclick the hide UI.
Oh, is that what it was?
Yeah. Yeah, but I mean, this is how it works. The first time I do something, it often comes out messed up. So this is par for the course.
I'm gonna do these too, where I talk about the cryptid I'm painting.
This
It's
is
a fun thing to do.
this is me desperately trying to figure out how to make a pigman.
Oh yeah, you can't be done.
Yeah, like I tried so.
I think he came out pretty good.
It looks so dumb. What do you see at the
No,
end?
he doesn't look bad.
I don't even know what he looks like. So then I discovered like I'm gonna have to use a different color because I need to be able to understand depth better for this. So I made the nose blue, like for the rough up sketch. Anyway, man, we went so far off topic.
Yeah, I don't know
Like
how that happens. That
me
happens.
neither. Do you want to share more personal creepy things or no?
I'm trying to think of
If
a
if
story
not,
that's not too long because I have the one that was in one of the videos with the haunted house, but it's kind of a long story.
I mean, one of us has to go right now. I don't care. I'll do it.
Um,
Oh, thank you, Amy. Amy's the best. Amy, you're not
Thank you,
gonna
Amy.
you're not gonna believe it, but we sold 2 more calendars yesterday.
Yeah, we did.
So right now we only have a couple people on, so I doubt that they're watching. But I just want to say thank you so much. It was 2 guys, funny enough, and both of their names started with A, which is also pretty interesting. It's like, wow, that's awesome. So we ended up selling 3 calendars after New Year's.
Yeah, I didn't expect that at all.
I didn't expect that at all either. Yeah. So glad. Thank you so much. I appreciate the support. We're having a good time. I'll make calendars in June. I don't care. But you can't have a discount because I can't afford it.
I can't wait till you guys see the video we're putting out.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
Amy, it's crazy.
It's gonna be so wild.
You have to put in comments what you think, like whatever you're thinking.
I'm not gonna
'Cause
lie.
it's
I kind of want to
really-
do it like this, where we can talk over it, but at the same, like, cause like this right here, I'm gonna
No,
set this real quick. Watch this,
there's sounds
because
and
I can
stuff.
pause it right there, and then I can unpause it. But I don't even know. Like,
What we could do, but it would be such a long video. What if we play the video and then we came on after the video was up and talked about it? But it's gonna be like a 2 hour long thing. Because
yeah,
the video, I'm still editing it and it's at like 30. It's past 30 minutes already. It's probably gonna be like 40, 50 minutes.
I do.
And I even cut some stuff out.
I do want the feedback. Like I said, so when after we did mention the K2 meter, the K2 meter went off.
So much.
Yeah, a very good amount, and it did appear to be intelligent.
Yeah, you'll see.
It
It looked like
yeah.
it was answering questions.
Yeah, so
I don't know if it really was or not.
after we get to the car and we're driving, we start trying to troubleshoot what happened. Now, while we're doing the video, we're like backing away. Like, I grabbed both cameras and moved across the room, the thermal camera and the regular one, and that was kind of goofy because I had to hold 2 cameras at once. It was a little weird, but everyone did their best, right? We tried.
Yeah, we'll do
pulling
better
things,
next time.
Yeah, tried
Now we have
pulling
an
things
idea.
away, and it's like, well,
It's just not reacting.
what if people were trying? What if someone comes on, like skeptics? Now you can't. Skeptics always have another answer. There's always another. Well, what if? Well, what if? And so I'm not here to sit here and play what if 3 years, because Joe Schmo on the internet likes to pee on things. But I do respect the scientific process.
Yeah, I need it to be scientific.
Yeah.
I need to know if it's real or not. I'm not just gonna
Yeah.
act like everything.
Yeah.
Oh, this is definitely paranormal.
Exactly.
And I know there's paranormal things that happen.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean,
I just need to make sure that that's what it is, and it's not a mistake. It's something electronic.
and that's when I was like, I'll show.
And I don't
will
know.
teach people. I will make the Faraday cage on camera so everyone knows how to do it. They can all see how it works. You know what I mean? You can make your own Faraday cage at home if you want, or Faraday hat, whatever you want to do, right? But
Yeah, it was.
it's like one of the things we will
I can't
try
wait till
is
that.
when it's going wild. I can open up my backpack and put a lot of electrical devices. The other problem is there's one other problem, and that is the camera, right?
Here's the thing, though. I took out the K2 meter here at the house, and I pointed the thermometer at it. I put the phone by it. It didn't do anything. It's something about that place.
Yeah,
We might have to go back there and see.
we definitely are gonna go back,
And
but
see. Yeah, I don't know. You'll have to see the video, but it was crazy.
another
Not
weird
at
thing
all
that
what I
happened there
expected.
was your cell phone battery died so quick. And here's the thing: so out of the 2 of us,
It was at like 98%.
my cell phone batteries, my cell phone battery often dies. Like, my cell phone always has like a charger connected to it. It's on life support, right? That's fine. and I had the thermal camera plugged into my cell phone. The thermal camera will eat cell phone batteries
Extremely quick.
because it's powered by the cell phone and it's a thermal camera. All right, very cool. The fact that her cell phone started losing power so much faster than mine, and it had slightly more power when we started.
Yeah.
For her, and she was not using the thermal camera. It's like it's not something that happens. It's not.
Yeah, that was weird.
It was very bizarre.
The whole thing was really weird.
So maybe you know what? No, here's what we'll do. All right, not even here's what we'll do. We'll put it up normal, right?
Yeah.
And we'll premiere it, and we'll be in the chat, right? Where we can text, and then after we have a number of these, right? Like, because we're going to different places, we can string them together. Maybe at the end of the year, and do it like with the audio commentary.
I guess, like for each video.
Like put them so like the same way. This over here, I painted this over 3 sessions. All right, because this was 4 hours of me painting. This was 3 sessions, but I put them together and then I hit go, and now it's going, right? Cool. So if that's the case, we could do the same thing with this other video. We can go and put them together.
Yeah.
Right, and then.
Yeah, I want to know if anyone else has like everyone's idea of what could be.
Yeah, because at the end of the year,
and then they could watch it with us and.
Mm-hmm.
It's true.
Yeah. So instead of just doing one, and people might ask like questions or whatever, and it's like, well, this was, if you were there in the premiere chat, we would have had a better answer because it's much fresher in our memory. But we can, in as much as we can answer what happened.
We should do one live one time.
I wanted to do it while we were there.
What if we went back there and did that one live?
I don't think the thermal camera
would
can
be able
project
to
YouTube, but if you're streaming to YouTube, we can just point at my phone.
We need another camera. Maybe.
Well, no. The phone will go straight to YouTube, but it's within the YouTube app. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So the phone connects to YouTube and then says, "Okay, we're gonna do this," right? But my phone cannot connect to YouTube and run the app at the same time.
Right.
But your camera was the normal camera anyway.
That's true. I hold the meter out. I don't have anything hooked up.
That's right. So
except the microphone, but that won't matter.
No,
the
and that's on your phone.
Will be better for the.
Yeah, that's on your phone anyway.
That would be crazy. Maybe we should try that.
Maybe. That would be.
Because that place is crazy.
Yeah, the thing is, see, and here's the weird thing.
But maybe it won't be next time.
Exactly,
we don't know.
because it's not known to be haunted, and
it's really not.
So, we brought that stuff just because we have this equipment. So it was like,
and might as well just do what people do when they go ghost hunting, just to see if anything shows up.
And the equipment wasn't even purchased for that. We bought the thermal camera to find lost pets.
Well, the K2 meter was.
Yeah, that's true. The K2 meter was. I bought that was a Christmas gift years ago.
Yeah.
The thermal camera was so we could find lost pets outside. Especially like when it starts to get like at night when it's cold, if it's 50 degrees, you can scan a very large area, look for warm spots, and sometimes it can lead to you finding a pet, which is great. My laser thermometer, I want to know what temperature things are. I just want to do it. And it wasn't very expensive either. The thermal camera was definitely the most expensive part of the setup, and we've had it for years now, which is pretty cool. So we just figured like, oh, actually we brought it on the way to what's it called? When we went to Devil's Hole, we had it there.
I know, and I should have taken it out, but it was so cold that I forgot about it.
Well, I mean, the point, my point being was,
but I had it. Yeah.
We're bringing it just because it's like we have this, and we're going out into the woods. We're seeing this cool stuff. Let's just see what happens.
We should definitely use it everywhere we go just to see.
Yeah, well, that was kind of the plan. Also, I think it was, I don't know if it was JJ or Jimmy, but one of them was mentioning, bring a K2 with you the next time you. Mm-hmm. Actually, it was Devil's Hole. No. He wanted the EVPs.
You want the EVPs, which we also did at.
Yeah.
And I won't say anything.
Good
about that.
Good, because.
But we did it. We did do those.
I only know one thing, and I don't know if that was an important thing. I don't know if that's the thing you're referencing, so we'll just leave that one alone. That's gonna be a great video. I can't wait.
Yeah, we're not gonna spoil anything.
Yeah, don't be spoiled, people. So, let me talk about another
Okay.
creepy thing. This is real life. This happened to my family. You could hear the rocks slash stones from the last time.
See, it's weird because I couldn't hear them when I was listening. I was trying to listen for it, and while I was there, it was pretty loud. Like it sounded like somebody was. It sounded like someone was throwing rocks into the creek.
It was so silly too because
That's what it sounded
where
like.
she was closer to the creek than me and Nice Guy Nick, right? So she walks over, but where we are standing is physically further away from the creek. So she's walking away from the creek to us.
Yeah, and I thought it might have been
And
Nick
then-
throwing rocks into there. I'm like, oh, it's
Yeah,
probably Nick. And then,
She asked, she's like, "Are you guys like over there throwing rocks?" But it's like, no, we've been over here making this fire. We're trying to eat.
yeah.
And she was like, "Cause I hear these rocks." And then there was that one time, but the camera wasn't rolling for that one, where we were all sitting there, the fire was there, we were making food, and you could hear it.
You could hear it.
Clear as day. We all turned around. It's like, wow,
Yeah, I don't know what's going on there.
that was.
And it's weird because we've been there before, and
Yes.
I heard the same thing last time.
Funny enough, I didn't hear it before, and I didn't hear it when you were hearing it by the ruins. I did hear it that other time. So, and also, Amy said she could hear it, and
I couldn't hear it when I was listening.
Sandy said she could hear it.
Yeah, and it's weird because when I was listening back to the video, it's like I can't really hear it now.
Yeah, that's our nephew,
you guys
Nice
hear
Guy
it?
Nick.
Oh yeah, Nick, he's funny.
That's Nice Guy Nick right there. He's a cool guy. So, I was alive when this happened. Now I have had paranormal or
You should talk about one you've had, like you saw, or
listen. We'll get to that eventually. All right, I'm trying to do this chronologically. The only reason why I'm skipping over my dad saw a UFO in Puerto Rico, but I'm skipping over that one because I don't have. All I know is that he saw a
you
UFO in
reminded
Puerto
me of
Rico.
one I saw. Okay, I'm gonna tell you a UFO one next too.
Oh yeah.
I forgot. Yeah, I have two ones. They're short, but yeah, go ahead.
Now I'm gonna tell my dad's, and it's not gonna look good next to yours. It'll hurt his feelings.
No, mine aren't that impressive, but
I'm
they're
messing around
interesting.
with you. It doesn't matter. Oh, by the way, pay attention to the screen because Sammy was like, "Your pig man doesn't look so bad." Be honest, that's horrible.
No, listen. When you're done with him and you look back and you look at the whole picture, it doesn't look bad.
I'm gonna post
Like you're
a
acting
picture.
like it's terrible
I'm gonna put the picture in the
thing, and
community
it's really
tab
not.
right after we're done here
I'm
today.
not saying it's like the best, like it's Picasso or some famous person artwork, but it's not bad.
It's pretty bad.
It's not bad.
It is. No, okay, so I'm not.
Especially when you look at him as a whole from a distance, he
I'm
doesn't
not.
look too bad.
I'm not the painter here. All right, like she is. She's incredibly good. Her family, her grandmother actually professionally does pet portraits. Like she gets paid a lot of money to paint pictures of your animals. Her dad's incredible. Like seriously, like she comes from a long line of artists. Okay.
Yeah, so I should know that doesn't look that bad.
I was given Play-Doh and crayons as a child. Sometimes markers if we were feeling especially fancy, and that was kind of nice, except they would bleed through the page, and that got me upset. That's not fair. I don't know why that happens.
Amy thinks it looks
when I
freaking
finished-
awesome.
When I finish this, I give it a solid 5 out of 10. I'm proud of what I did, right? Like I like the way that the light kind of like you can the light
moon?
source reacting to the trees. Yeah, we can call it the moon. That's probably what it is. It's a light source.
You mean the moon?
The light source.
The light source
That's
of the moon?
that's animation talking right there. That's what that is. There are some parts where, like, if you can imagine a triangle of light when you look into the bushes on the right side, the bottom right, I'm pointing at it, but you guys can't see my hand, so that's kind of dumb. That is not part of the source image. I realized that if there was a bush or something that was a little further forward there, you would get that glow right there. And so, yeah, I feel very proud of that little glow that I added there. And I also did it on some of the trees. Like, there are parts where in the source image or the reference image, right, that stuff doesn't exist. But in my picture, it does. I give it a solid 5 out of 10. I'm not embarrassed by it, but that pig man looks hilarious.
I like it.
I am Pigman. Oh man, I am Pigman.
Okay, tell your story.
Okay,
And then we'll look at Pigman when he's done.
okay. So, My dad saw a UFO in Puerto Rico. But that's not the story I'm going with. I will also reference, though, that there is a military base on Puerto Rico, and there's been so many crazy things the U.S. military is engaged in on the island of Puerto Rico.
I didn't know that.
Oh yeah, and the really wild thing is, it's not even really hidden. Um, if you have watched this channel for any real length of time, I know Amy already knows this, but like people in the future maybe watching the replay, I am a freedom extremist. Okay, I believe a lot in personal responsibility. Um, so when I say this, I don't want it to sound like some kind of like, oh, poor me and poor us, and we need help and send aid to Puerto Rico. But Puerto Rico has also suffered a pretty good amount at the hands of the U.S. government. You can look up the Puerto Rico gag order, and that was in the 1960s. So there have been the U.S. has violated its own constitution in the way that it's handled and dealt with the island of Puerto Rico. Specifically, like the First Amendment, which it's the first one for a reason, the most important one, completely trampled by the U.S. government when it comes to the island of Puerto Rico. And there are other very, very strange, bizarre, downright creepy stories. There are people that believe that the U.S. government has kidnapped young men from the island of Puerto Rico, and the thought process is that they were sent to war, Vietnam, Korea, because they were having a lot of trouble. But so one like they're these old heads on Puerto Rico, they'll tell you about like you wake up one morning and all the young men in this one town are gone, missing. Yeah, missing. And there's not a lot of writing about this because it was illegal to write in Spanish. And you know what they speak in Puerto Rico? They speak Spanish. So essentially, you have reduced everybody. If I told you, all right, listen, you can only write in Russian now, and then I start abusing you, what are you going to do? You could go to jail for writing in Spanish at that time. So if you just look up gag order, it's got a Wikipedia page.
Wow.
Yeah,
I
like
had no idea about any of
It's
that.
not even like super hidden. It's right there. Okay, now this is not some give me the reparations, right? That's not what this is here. But there have been atrocities on that little island, and no one ever even talks about it. So that UFO that my dad saw could have been so many. It could have been otherworldly. It could have been what's it called? Could have been from when it's under the water. USO. Could have been a USO. It could have been government, military. It could have been any number of things. I'm not saying what, but he did see something that was unexplainable. Oh my god. That he was unable to explain. I'm getting puppy kisses.
Jill is here.
Yes, Jill is here. She says it's time to kiss. Jill's a girlfriend.
She thinks it's dinner time, but it's only 5 o'clock, Jill.
It's not even. It's 4:30. Stop it.
It's not even 5 o'clock.
Anyway, so that's not the story though. My grandfather, actually, his name was Alberto, which is pretty cool. There's a small reference there, but only people named Alberto will get it, and that's okay. Actually, one person named Alberto will get it, but that's still okay. Anyway, he's passed away. He's gone, but he went on vacation. I don't recall where it was, and he came back with this pair of like little dolls from wherever him and my grandmother had went, right? And they were described as being not very attractive. They were like, when you looked at them, they were odd. There we go. They were just these odd little dolls, and he got them as a souvenir. Well, when he brought them back, he lived above. They lived in apartments. Jack, what are you doing? Be good for YouTube. My aunt lived in an apartment with their husband immediately beneath them, so they were right above. So like, let's say like my aunt lived in 9G, they lived in 10G, right, in New York. My uncle was a professional wrestler in, I don't know if this country is in Central or South America, but one of those. He was a professional wrestler, and he took his wrestling money and came to the U.S. and bought a a muffler and brake shop, and he would work on cars. But wrestling is very hard on your body, right? He started having all kinds of problems. He couldn't sleep. He was having trouble with his bowel movements. Like his body just all of a sudden started falling apart. And my aunt, even though he wasn't very old, just thought that maybe this is the sad price that you pay for being that sort of entertainer. Yeah, especially like out here in the U.S. we call it World Wrestling Entertainment. I don't know how realistic it was where he was. Right, like they could have been slamming each other for real. So then one day, and this was actually I think the second creepy video that we made. We animated this in 2D.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I know. Yeah.
We animated this in 2D. So one night he's having a dream. Actually, I don't know if it was him or my aunt right now, but sorry, because I have a video I can watch and remind myself because I made this video. Somebody has a dream, and in the dream they're walking through the woods, and there is a crow on a tree, and the crow's chest and abdomen split open, and the dolls are inside of this newly formed cavity. Again, I don't remember who it was out of the two of them, but whoever it was, that one woke up the other one, and they go running upstairs and knocking on my grandfather and grandmother's door. They're trying to desperately get in. When they get in, they're not asking permission. Look at Pigman. He's funny looking. They're not asking permission. They're not trying any of that. They go straight, grab the dolls, and start trying to destroy them. They're trying to burn them. Now, my uncle, who was formerly a wrestler, he was a very large person. Large, well-bodied. I mean, the guy had super mechanic hands. His hand was probably bigger than my face is now. Okay? They cannot get these dolls to burn. The dolls would not get into the fire. So they go and they start, he starts applying as much pressure as he can and starts praying, and then all at once the dolls give and end up in the fire and are incinerated. And after that, no more problems. No more feeling sick, no more trouble sleeping, no more anything. Everything snaps back to normal.
Where'd they get the dolls from again?
I never found. I was a child when I heard this. Like when this happened, I was very young, and my uncle.
Somebody. Wait, wasn't it a gift?
No. My uncle was so fat. I was so young at the time, and he was so fat that the idea of him not being able to push something down was funny to me. And then I got in trouble for laughing at that. I'm being serious. Like that's how that one went. That's how small I was.
Who gave them, or
but
where they
I believe
come
it was a souvenir. I don't know where they visited.
Yeah.
Right?
Weird.
I can't ask now. First off, there's only one person in that story left that's alive.
Yeah.
That's my aunt was when my mother was I think 6, my aunt was 20. So that's a 14-year difference.
Yeah.
And her husband was older than she was. He passed away maybe 2 years ago. She's the only one left that would have been in that room, and she's not going to talk to me about it. There's no way.
Too scary.
My family does not talk about these things. Like that's how this works. Yeah. So my family, even me saying on the internet that my uncle was a wrestler, I don't know why. Like my aunt does not like. We actually found a video of him on YouTube
like
once.
The fact that he was a wrestler?
Yeah.
Weird.
I think she thinks it's like not very Christian.
Really?
I can't understand, like, why would you?
I don't know.
Why would
That's
this data be offensive to you?
I have no
You
idea.
beat up people for a living. You was punching them so hard. So, yeah, she's not gonna talk to me about it at all. I'll never get to. Pretty much whatever. Thank God we made that video before I had that concussion. Whatever's in there, that is the closest I have to the data. That is the very closest.
Cursed dolls or something. It's weird.
Yes. But then the question is, why? Like,
I don't know. Like,
why would you curse
it's a
dolls in a
souvenir.
souvenir shop? You know what I mean?
I have no idea.
But it was cursed. It had to,
I have no idea.
it would be quite the what would it be when it's when something looks like it would be quite the coincidence if all at once everything was just like, oh, now you're fine.
Yeah, that's very weird. And they wouldn't burn,
Yeah.
and then they did burn.
Yep.
And he couldn't even push them into the fire.
No.
I don't even know how to.
You remember him, right?
Yeah, I don't know how to even visualize that. It was huge.
Yeah.
How do you like they were pushing like a magnet, like pushing against
The way
him?
it was described to me, they would not go into the fire.
I don't get that. I can't even
I'm
comprehend
gonna
that.
be super honest. It sounds like
imagine-
demonic, like
yeah,
you
you're
know
trying
how.
to push them in, and that they're just resisting.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So there's that. Now you wanted to say you had a story queued up, maybe about UFOs.
Oh yeah, I could tell the UFOs.
Do it.
So I saw.
Do it while we look at beautiful Pigman.
It doesn't look bad. Yeah,
I'm not gonna say he looks bad. I don't think he looks very good either, though. Like, let's be fair.
He's got good shading, and
I think.
it looks creepy. He doesn't look. You say he looks funny, and he doesn't really look funny.
Okay, I'm gonna be honest. If I saw that in real life, I'd be terrified. I would be. But
Exactly
if
like
I
that.
if I saw some 4-year-olds drawing in real life, I'd also be terrified. I'd be like, oh gosh, that 4-year-old drawing's gonna kill me.
You should paint. What's his name? What was it? Horse cow or something? Bear cow.
Bear cow.
Paint bear cow.
It
On the
wouldn't.
path.
It wouldn't be impossible. Actually, what bear cow is it would be the shape of a bear, but colored like a cow.
You should do that and make up the path like the path that's by our
I
house.
mean, that sounds like a good idea, but you see how Pigman came out, right? Clearly, I'm better at grass and moon and well, we'll call it moon, but
well,
it's light
I
source.
could do it, but it wouldn't be the same. 'Cause I didn't see it.
Yeah, but sometimes they have like the professionals at the precinct, and they draw the picture. You know what I mean? Like sketch artists.
Yeah.
That would be like you, where it would need to be like the amateur sketch that everybody laughs at.
So you would tell this story while I paint bear cow?
I'm not against that idea. I don't know if the story's long enough. We can do something like
that's
this
true,
where
it's
we
pretty
can go
short.
and tell people to call in, and then they ignore us, and then we just talk the whole time.
It's hard to call in. I'm not gonna lie, I wouldn't call in either because it's scary.
Yeah,
A lot of people do like to, but
this was very
it's hard
impromptu.
to call in
This
sometimes.
was very impromptu, and it was done.
I know you would call in.
Yeah, I should probably call us as me.
Call in as you.
Yeah, hey guys, it's me. I'm on the phone. I had to make them dirty.
It's okay, Amy. Okay, so yeah, the UFOs I saw.
Yes.
I saw actually both of them at my parents' house.
Where they live right now?
Yeah, where they live right now.
Cool.
So the one, I was walking home from a friend's house. And once I got to the yard, pretty much, I'm like looking up, because you know how you just like look around, look up at the sky. I look up at the sky a lot. And there was this light. It was changing all different colors. And it was going in a checkerboard pattern. And this was a while ago. This was maybe in like 2000, 2001.
Way before Starlink or any of that
Way
other
before
stuff.
Starlink. I don't know what kind of satellites they had out back then, but it was in a checkerboard pattern, which was, I'm watching it do this, and I even went inside and got my mom, and she came out, and it was still there, and it was, the way it was moving was like a checkerboard, like very sharp angles, and then it just disappeared. It stopped. We went back inside. We talked about it. It was weird. I don't know what it was. But that was the first one, and then the second one, I don't know if you guys have seen them, but there's videos actually on YouTube where people see these silver orbs moving in the sky, and they move pretty quick. I saw one of those, and I didn't realize what it was at the time. I was outside by the pool, and I'm looking up again, and I see this silver orb moving very quickly through the clouds. I'm like, what the heck is that? It moved so fast. Went behind some clouds, and then it was gone. It was moving really quick. I tried to keep an eye on it as long as I could, but it was gone. And it looked like a perfectly shaped orb, silver, very shiny looking. And it looked just like, if you look up like silver orb sightings on YouTube, people have them videotaped. It looks exactly like that. I've heard other people talk about them too. I don't know what it was.
You remember that guy? I think he called himself like Hallelujah Way.
Oh yeah, and he would summon the UFOs.
Yeah,
Yeah, did he summon orbs?
they were orbs.
Really?
I don't. Did he call them UFOs?
I don't know what he called them, but I do remember him.
I remember them. They were what? Hang on, orbs. They
But
were white. They were white dots. But they
It
were
was
in the sky
silver.
and they did appear. They were very far away. They were white dots and they just started appearing.
I don't even know how far away this thing was. It's so hard to tell when it's up in the sky and moving so quick.
It's absolutely insane to me that it happened while the news crew was there.
That's why I feel like it might have been fake, though. Like,
Why would... See, here's the thing.
How do you just stand there and be like, I want to see a UFO, and they just show up?
Well, he prayed. He said, God,
he's praying to the aliens, or?
He said, God, please
show me the UFOs.
Do these things here so these people don't think I'm crazy, or something along those lines.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know about it.
You see, my thing is, if you don't know because the news was there, then how can you... Like, I believe in being skeptical, but if I'm like, then there's no way to know, because it's like, well, I want to see some video. Then when they show you the video, you're like, listen, I don't know, the news is there. That's not fair. You're cheating.
It's not about the news being there. It's how he just summons UFOs. Who's he talking to?
Hallelujah Way. I don't know.
You know what I'm saying? Like, there's no... It's just some guy out there saying, I want to see the... And they're just showing up.
If you could do that, you would do it too. Don't be jealous.
Maybe I should try. I want to see the UFOs right now.
Maybe you need to bring the camera crew there and be like, please do it so I don't look crazy in front of these people. I don't know. Jack, you're a good boy, but I want you to not sit on me anymore because I'm on the internet machine. Okay.
He just wants to be a bridge.
He does want to be a bridge.
I can't. He's pulling my headphones out.
Oh no.
I can't.
She's deaf. She can't hear us.
I can't hear myself.
It's a good thing no one's on the phone. Good thing nobody called me today.
You guys, it's not dinner time.
No.
It's not even close.
You guys will do anything for dinner. Okay.
Later, Jill. Later.
What am I doing right now? What is this? I'm mixing a color. Oh!
So what did your dad say in Puerto Rico?
We're finished. It was just... I think he said it was a triangle, but don't take...
Ooh,
don't...
Like the black triangle,
But
maybe?
do not...
You'll have to ask him again.
Yeah, I have
He'll
to
tell you,
ask
right?
him. Yeah, he'll tell me.
Yeah.
He'll tell me. So,
UFOs.
yes. So, I'd rather give too little information, right? But not make a mistake and you know what I mean? Like make trouble, you know? Versus versus going in full force and then being like, oh, this was wrong, that's wrong, and then it's like way less interesting. Like, don't want that. Let's make it really boring, and then no matter what, we know it's interesting. We're gonna
What did you do?
He's finished, so we're gonna pause right there where people can see the
Look at how great he is.
beautiful pigman. He's the best, and like I said, I will create like an over-under with that image and the source image so people can see how much nicer the source image is. All right. Well, the dogs want something.
Yeah, they are.
We got 0 calls today. It's okay. This is how this happens sometimes. It's all right.
See, Amy likes it.
Next time, I'm gonna call Amy on the phone.
Creepy.
Amy, what if I called you on the phone though? We're gonna take some calls. Oh, no one's on the phone. Time to call Amy.
Oh man.
We could do it like every time when nobody calls. We'd be like, Amy, what's the weather like where you're at? Oh, cool. What are you doing for dinner today? Spaghetti? Hooray! All right, hang on. I'm gonna turn the camera back on. Okay.
So we can see Jack, the craziness that's going on right now.
Yeah. Oh, so they can see.
Look at his face. He said, "Why are you guys on the internet still? I want things."
I gotta hide the current comment. No one better call right now because we're saying goodbye.
Oh yeah.
That one's crazy. Now look there.
feel
They're
that.
doing floor yoga. They are. All right, everyone.
More doggies. So many doggies.
Yes, 100 of them. 100 babies. All right, everyone, take good care of yourself and
Bye,
keep an eye
everyone.
out for that next video. It's gonna be us in Concrete City,
It's coming out soon.
and it's way more than I ever expected. I thought we were gonna go and check out
I didn't
videotape
expect
some cool
anything.
stuff. Yeah, literally, it was just, oh, this is a cool abandoned place. Let's go and videotape here and just take out the stuff and hang out for a bit. And yeah, so everyone have a good night. Take good care of yourselves. Bye.
Bye.